Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Coronavirus reigns supreme. But is coronavirus a pandemic or is it something more? Is it a cover for political advertisement, for extension of the personal rivalries, a cover for the trade rivalries, a camouflage for political domination? In fact, is it a prelude to war? It's quite possible. The situation, the way it's developing, shows that coronavirus has crossed the limit of being a mere pandemic. It first assumed the shape of endemic, means information epidemic, where rumors and false tales, fake stories had the run of the day. And now comes the real picture. The Germans have sent a notice to China and they want $140 billion for the loss incurred and the lives lost. England has not been far behind and has sent a notice for $3.7 trillion. And can America be left behind? One state has already filed a suit against China for about $5 trillion. And today, about an hour back, the president of USA, just an hour back, tweeted. And the tweet was, if Germany needs $140 billion, the demand of USA would be much more, depending on the number of lives lost, depending on the productivity loss, and the economic hardship of the people of the nation. Are we just marching ahead towards an open hot war? These are the various questions that face us. There are various reasons for waging a war. One, the internal compulsions of each country. The way the Democratic Party is behaving in USA and the biased media in USA is behaving, it's imperative that America does something which is exemplary. And if you remember, the German Chancellor Merkel made a statement 3 days back that COVID-19, that's coronavirus, is like an attack on Pearl Harbor. Remember, America jumped into war when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. So, the Europe by itself may not be able to face China, and hence they want USA to take a lead. And to stir up the popular demand, Merkel was very, very open, blatantly open, and said this is like a repeat of Pearl Harbor, so that must be punished. President Macron was not left behind, and he said that we have to be allied. What China has done has waged a war against humanity. The same words which de Gaulle has used at the time of Second World War. He had declared that the actions of Hitler and Mussolini are a war against humanity. The Britishers have not been left behind. They have already filed a case and they openly say that China must pay. And if you see the speeches of Boris Johnson, you would find the shades of the speeches of Winston Churchill. The famous speech of Mr. Churchill, we shall fight on the roads, we should fight on the homes, we should fight on the streets, we should fight on beats. We have nothing to lose, but we have got everything to offer: blood, sweat, and tears. And Boris Johnson is using the same sort of a language, full of verbosity, full of militancy, full of anger, and the anger is justified. And then look at the Chinese. They have been able to on WHO, and I'm going to take up that maybe on Saturday, how WHO should be called CHO, that is Chinese Health Organization. They are least concerned about the world. But then, as I said, I'll take it up. Today, coming back to the possibility of the hot war. Now, do you think that China is going to give 160 billion to Germany, 3 trillion to England, 5 trillion to America, and then once they pay, what about Italy? What about France? What about India? What about Singapore? What about Australia? And Australia has already said that they want retribution. The word used is retribution. What is retribution? To take revenge. And what can be revenge? Limb for a limb, eye for an eye, life for life. If so many Aussie families have died, so many Aussie lives have been lost, the same number of the Chinese lives have to compensate for that. So this war mongering, this drum beating going on across the globe shows that something is wrong somewhere. That not everything, but a great many things are rotten in the state of the world today. Now, as I said, the reasons are threefold. First is, of course, the internal compulsion. As I said earlier, coronavirus has also encouraged the politicians in the various countries to adopt dictatorial attitudes, to become more authoritarian. You can see it in the shape of lockdowns and curfews and so on and so forth. You can see it the way law is being bended to ensure that the human freedom, that the human rights are trampled on. So, and then the internal dissensions in the country. And that's why China is ready with the war. And if you remember, about 8 months back, I had started a series on the Facebook showing the secret armaments of China and USA, both. Maybe though the time has come to use those arms. So first is the internal need of these countries to. When there is a problem inside, the best way to distract the attention of the people and divert it is to an outsider. You remember when Benazir Bhutto and Rajiv Gandhi were facing a problem, Operation Brass Tacks took place. The real story is different, but Operation Brass Tacks was a cover used to divert the attention of the people. So whenever internal situation is not very happy, the politicians would always adopt a way to point the finger at an outsider. He's doing it, he's responsible. Internal situation in China is also not very good. There are people from the Deng period who don't want Xi. So Xi has to assert himself. And but it's natural, and what better enemy to point fingers at than the great Saturn? Iran would take revenge, would like to take revenge at least from USA, and they have said, if you come to the Gulf of Hormuz, we'll destroy you. Imagine a rat trying to bully a dog. Then, apart from the internal compulsion, is the inter-trade rivalry. The rivalry between USA and China is well known. But then there is a rivalry between Europe and China as well. And when the rivalry is there, when the trade is there, when the balance of payment and the balance of trade is going negative for the other country, the losing country always takes umbrage. And that umbrage can take the form of a open conflict. Then recession. We know we are being hit by recession. And again, to fight the recession, the best thing is to have a war. The results of a war, more people will die, so there'll be less claimant on the government finances. Then three industries would just increase at a galloping speed. First is the arms industry, second is the textile industry, third is the pharmaceutical industry. And these three would increase at the speed you can't imagine because these things are required textiles, medicines, and arms. At the same time, the food processing industry would also increase, though the increase would not be as much as in case of those industries. The result would be that there will be more employment. So the recessionary trends also need war. The people who say that no peace is required are barking up the wrong tree. You remember General von Moltke had said, peace is a dream and not even a beautiful dream. War is a part of God's order with the world. And that was a creed which Hitler had used for war. So China needs it. The resentment against the killing and the dying of millions of people and the incarceration, the imprisonment of more than 1 million Muslims is creating resentment. Hong Kong is another cauldron, it's a burning issue. So China needs to divert that attention, consolidate the people against behind him. Same is desired by the German, Boris Johnson, and President Trump. Let's be very honest. The same is needed by Modi. So if Modi can declare a war or persuade Pakistan to declare a war, what better way than to claim, okay, there's an emergency in India. So each and every politician wants a war, though each one would be saying, we are for peace. Peace is the best thing in the world. That's all bullshit. So internal compulsions, trade, recession. And fourth is an excuse you need. First World War started with the killing of Prince Ferdinand. You kill one person, that is no reason for starting a world war. But that's what happened. The Australian prince was killed, and the first world war started. So second, Hitler dressed his own soldiers, rather prisoners from the German jails, put them in a polished uniform, took them on the border, shot at all of them, and said Poland has invaded Germany, so the war starts. And the Second World War starts. So Third World War, the ingredients are there. The dish is ready to be cooked. Ingredients, as I have told you, in the internal conditions, political conditions, trade, recession, and the need to provide employment. So what better way? And another thing, it will give them a justification for their action. This COVID, coronavirus has become a godsend opportunity for the politicians to settle their scores. So I do envisage. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm not very sanguine. I fear there's going to be an open conflict. The movement of the armies in China towards Vietnam and Thailand, the movement of the Chinese naval forces towards the South Sea, Spratly Islands, and to the Indian Ocean. The movement of the US destroyers towards Hormuz and in the Arctic. They are not trends which should be ignored. It hoped that there's no open confrontation, but as I said, I'm not very sanguine. There's a fear, and rightly so, among all the right thinking people, that coronavirus is a prelude to the world war. I hope the curtain doesn't rise on the world war, but there's every possibility that possibly in the month of September or October, we might see the first shots being fired. And if that happens, something would emerge that would show that politicians, for all their differences, are of the same type, who do not care for the lives of the common people. There's a question just now. Do you think China will be made to pay financial damages to countries across the globe? Well, Mr. You must have heard me. How can China pay about $10 trillion? The moment it pays that, it will go bankrupt. So it will prefer to fight a war in the hope it might win. And who knows? It would never pay. It would not pay. That much I can assure you absolutely certainly. They might say, okay, we'll give you the product at a reduced rate. The way they have done with with Canada. They sent 1 million ventilators and none of them is working. Imagine it. They send the test kits to India and all are defective. So they can indulge in that gimmickry, but they're not going to pay cash. So the only way left for these claimants would be declare we are at war. Hope not, but be prepared. Thank you.